guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ange if you haven't met me before, and today we are going to be doing a small little plant haul video. So these are the plants I've gotten in the past, I want to say 2 months. There's definitely not been a lot of them. I'm really trying to be a little bit more picky about the plants I bring into my home. They're really only plants that I absolutely love, I absolutely need to have, or they're like wish list plants. So these are the plants that I have gotten. But firstly, I want to say if you enjoy this video, then please hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't, then definitely hit subscribe if you like planty videos. And let's just go grab the first plant. So I think I'm just going to start off with the plants that I have gotten from Bunnings, and there are 2 different plants that I got from Bunnings. I think that I got them both in the same trip. So the first one is definitely a plant I've wanted for a really long time, and to find this in Bunnings was absolutely insane. And this is the Philodendron bilietiae. I think it is pronounced bilietiae, and it is this one here. So it has these absolutely awesome lobe-shaped leaves. To me, it looks very reminiscent of my Philodendron atabapoense, but just a little bit different. And the leaves itself have like a really cool ribbing effect, I guess you would say. There's a lot of indentations. This leaf is a little bit dirty, it needs a clean, but you can probably see the indentations really nicely on that one. So we have a new leaf coming out here. It is a little bit smaller than the leaf before that, but that's okay. I think it's because I am giving it more of like a medium light. It is in my living room underneath some grow lights, but they're not intensely harsh grow lights. They're my more like soft ones. So it's probably why the leaves aren't getting so big, but honestly I have lack of plant space, so that is where it's living. It is doing fine. I will say that it's not the quickest grower, so when I've had it, I think this is really the only leaf that has come out. So it did have a growth point for a really long time, but it took like 2 months for this leaf to unfurl and come out. So I'm not going to be holding my breath for a really big bilietiae anytime soon. I mean, it might just be my one that's not a super fast grower, but yeah, I just found so far for me personally, not a super fast grower. No problems though, it hasn't been fussy, not particularly thirsty. I've only had to water it once every 2 weeks or so. That could also just be the medium that it came in, because I haven't changed out the medium yet. It's still just in the stuff that I got it in. And I got this from Bunnings. So for Bunnings, this plant was kind of expensive, but it was $55. But if you are in Australia, you know that the prices for the bilietiaes were quite big. Sorry if you could hear that scratching. I just had to take this little saucer off Tofu because he was being a little menace and making a bunch of sounds in the back of the video. But what was I saying? Anyway, $55 from Bunnings. I personally think that was such a great deal because it is like a rare plant and you can now get these at Bunnings. So really cool. I have seen them in my last few trips I've been to Bunnings. So if you want one, go and check that out. And I'm absolutely loving this at the moment. Alright, so the other plant I got at Bunnings is this absolutely gorgeous Alocasia green velvet. Alocasia, they say Alocasia Friedeck green velvet on the label, but I believe a Friedeck is only the ones that are variegated, so this is just the normal Alocasia green velvet. But look at these beautiful leaves. I mean, do I need to say more to why I had to pick this up? I've actually wanted one of these for a long time. But to be honest, Alocasia do kind of annoy me because if you've seen my last video, I talked about my spider mite infestation. And I do believe that this plant is the cause of that. There are still, I think, yeah, there are spider mites again on this, even though I treated it like a few days ago. But honestly, Alocasias are just spider mite magnets, and it's so annoying. Like, spider mites aren't that bad if you get a handle on them quickly before they ruin all the leaves, but honestly, it annoys me. I mean, it's so absolutely freaking beautiful. Like, I can't say no and throw this plant out, but if you want these plants, you might be like me and cursed and having to deal with the spider mites all the time, but right now I'm thinking that it's worth it. Who knows though, in the future I might say enough Alocasia and get rid of it, but I am gonna have to treat this one again. But honestly, this one was so freaking gorgeous. When I purchased this plant, there was, I think, 2 plants in the pot. So this one and the other one, and now we have two more plants that have come out. So these tiny little babies here, that's something that I find really cool about alocasia, is that they do puff out and create a really nice bushy plant. So that is something for the pro alocasia column. Yeah, I got this one from Bunnings. This one was only $25, so a really good price for these alocasia green velvets. I remember when they first started coming out on the market, they were quite expensive. Not super expensive, but they were about like $50 for one of these, and now you can get them for $25 at just your local store down the street. So I honestly could not say no. Let me know if you have any care tips to keep these spider mites at bay, because they are driving me crazy. But anyway, that is the last plant I got from Bunnings. Alright, this next plant is definitely a wish list plant. I've wanted this plant for such a long time. I think I did actually have this plant on my wish list plant video. So I am so stoked to finally have it in my collection. And this is the Philodendron Ring of Fire. So I got this guy from a place called Rooted Plants. It is a plant store in Sydney. I did purchase it online though, and they came yesterday, so I opened it up and it is looking absolutely gorgeous. So I do have quite a large regular green one of these plants. It's called a Philodendron Narrow, and it is absolutely ginormous, but this is the variegated version, and I will just give you a nice close-up. Look at that patterning to the leaves. I love this segmental vegetation. I do love this sectoral variegation, and like this little baby leaf is a beautiful half and half. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. We do have a growth point, so there will be a new leaf soon, but this is the newest leaf. That absolutely beautiful speckling. To be honest, I did probably pay a lot for this plant, but it is one that I've wanted for a really long time. If you are interested in getting this plant and you are in Sydney, I do know that Rooted Plants does have quite a few more of these, so go check them out. I purchased this with my own money, so don't worry. I absolutely love it though. I am so keen to see it grow. I don't know, guys, if I should put a little stake on there to kind of pin it up, or if I should just let it grow wild. Definitely let me know what you think, and definitely give me some tips if you have any, because if I killed this, I would be so upset. I opened the box last night in front of Steven and I was just going, and he honestly thought I was such a freak, but it is so beautiful. I really hope it is as easy to care for as my other Philodendron Narrow, because that one grows so quickly and it just has, it's just so easy as well. So really hoping that this one is the same, but this is the highlight of like my month, my week, my everything right now. I'm absolutely loving it. And the last plant that I've gotten recently is another plant that I purchased from Rooted Plants. I bought this in the same order, and this is again another plant I've wanted for such a long time. I know it's not super rare or anything, but this is the absolutely gorgeous Hoya Mathilde, and just look at these teeny tiny little leaves. Like, they are so freaking adorable. I don't know, there's something about really small round leaves that I just love, and it is a Hoya obviously, so it has some really thick succulent type leaves. We have two growth points, I believe, so one down here and there is one behind this leaf, but just look at it. At the moment with my Hoyas, I will say a lot of them, and I'm dealing with some mealybugs. Mealybugs just love Hoyas, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever had any other pest on a Hoya except for mealybugs, which they're not the worst because they're not going to kill your plant, but they're kind of annoying and pretty gross when they take a hold of your plant. Like, ugh, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I'm going to keep this one away from my other Hoyas. Unfortunately, it's lost a lot of its soil because Tofu tipped it over. I had it on the floor waiting for me to film, and he tipped it over and there's soil all over my floor, so I'm going to have to clean that up. But I'm absolutely in love with this one. Honestly, I think it's going to be pretty easy to take care of. I may actually chop it as well at some point soon so I can propagate it and make this guy look a little bit more full, because I'm not super fond with just having like one vine coming out of the plant. I do like something quite nice and bushy, so I'll keep you guys updated if I do end up chopping and propping. I love chopping and propping, especially because it is summer. It's nice and hot, so it's a perfect time to do that. But yeah, that is the last plant that I got recently. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. That is it for today's video. If you enjoyed this little plant haul, then definitely hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye.